I think we're live. Very nice. I'm with a new computer setup. It's actually pretty much the same setup. I just have swapped out a couple parts, so the software might not be fully set up right. Basically, a new Windows install is what it ultimately was, and finally was able to upgrade my processor. So if things are goofy today, that's why. I'll probably review the VOD a little bit to make sure that the audio mostly is fine. Usually video doesn't cause too many problems. Anyways, we're back in Space Aces. And I just felt like doing some texturing this morning. I might, no promises, but I think it'd be kind of fun to do a early morning stream for me once a week or so, because with my work and everything, it's kind of nice to fit it around other stuff. So, and I still want to make Space Aces. I'm not done with this. The classes episode is like basically like the actual programming side of it is done. I just have to actually record it and get a few textures. And I'm not working on textures. Thankfully, that green gem is doing that, and that's been huge for me because I'm able to focus on more technical stuff. But today I just felt a little artsy and wanted to make some textures. So we're flying around. This is the basically the layout of the things that don't really. It kind of helps us see that what's textured and what's not. It's kind of a little bit of an overview. If I hold a light, everything that's textured should have a light above it, which this is a really nice, easy way to be like, okay, this is done. Because sometimes we create a texture and we're like, we're not sure how we feel about it yet. Speaking of which, I just did gray wool, which is right here. And I did this yesterday. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Ideally, it's rotational, but I imagine it being really useful for like the bottom trim or top trim of an area. But also it can be really useful for just something that's like a big power bar, like a steel pipe or support structure that's going sideways. It might be pretty useful for that too. And if you combine it with a couple other textures, especially something like this, let me turn that on. You can even do something like this. It's like technically the colors in this don't match, but because they're so dark, they kind of just work. They blend in, and this just looks like yellow beam lights. And creating things that are like kind of neutral enough to work in multiple places while still being like visibly like quite different. That's been a little bit of a challenge, but also been kind of fun. Also, I have, as you can see up here, I've got the Minecraft music just running full blast because I've been kind of enjoying it lately. I haven't been on Minecraft much, so it's like kind of a little bit of a break of things for me. So let's break those. I also did a couple other textures. I'm the gray wool is the only one I'm happy with. The other ones I'm not sure. So I did moss, which is mostly just an upscale and a just add noise. The problem with upscaling and adding noise is it creates seams. Like you can see that really well. Like that's where the texture is going to be. That's where the block is, I mean. So it's like, we got to figure out a way to blend these together, which we could work on that maybe. The resin I'm still happy with, but I made kind of a darker variant with the netherrack And like it still can fulfill its netherrack purpose, but it's kind of nice to have a little bit of like a, maybe in like a darker area, or even we can play with lighting a little bit, or patches, doing something like that. Now you can see the seam on this stuff, but it's not nearly as bad. Like this is almost acceptable to me. Well, I guess it's because it auto rotates, doesn't it? That helps a lot with textures like this. And then I upscaled both of these. I thought maybe a wider block would look good. Oop. I don't like it. It's diorite. It looks bad no matter how you slice it. And the texture diorite is kind of problematic because like you see these two and you're like, oh, that's just diorite, right? I'm trying to avoid textures like that. Let me find it. Yeah, like tough. Tough looks really good though. Like it blends together much better than some of the others. Like you can't see a seam on that, and I think that to me that this looks really good. How it blends together, but I'm not sure. Let me just make sure I'm still streaming. Okay, yeah. I don't expect anybody to actually like watch this, come with me live, but I like to document stuff like this. Worst case scenario, I've got free VOD storage that I can just use to for the actual videos later. Also, the last video didn't do that well. And I know it's not as exciting, but I don't know. I feel like the arenas were like really cool. I think I'm gonna have to start throwing in new thumbnails. I'm really bad at thumbnail game, and I just want to. I don't want to pop off or anything. Like I don't really care about stuff like that. I just want to make good videos. Because no one's making map making videos. I mean, there are a few, but it's mostly like hyper niche, kind of boring stuff. Like, oh, I added something that's been like a real game in Minecraft. It's like, okay, that's great. I'm glad you did that, but I want to do my own thing. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So we've got these textures that I'm kind of, yeah, like even stuff like this looks pretty good with this, the light gray. So I'm going to consider it done. I really like how it turned out. It's kind of similar to the quartz over here, but this is, these all kind of blend together into a very specific, also, does this rotate? Okay, so the stairs look good this way, but they look pretty stupid this way. I gotta maybe fix that. Okay. I'm not big on this pillar either, but stuff like that does have value, especially with let me fly over here. Especially with like buttons. This one specifically. Like that does work once you see that, because it's a thin sliver. It covers exactly one of these pillars. And so when you do something like that, it's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. Now I gotta break all of these. I've kind of been thinking about setting up a like a public playtest once we get the first round of things done, which the classes are like a big part of that. And I'm not going to spoil those today, even though I think they're all done. But a public playtest would be kind of nice, just so players could come and actually play the game. And I think feedback is the most important thing, especially for map design. I think if you don't have feedback for map design, your maps are going to be bad no matter what. You could think and plan and prepare as much as you want, but at a certain point, you can't plan for everything. Okay. Well, let's actually do something today, other than me just rambling. Now, what are we missing? We do have a lot of kind of muted colors. In terms of green, what do we have that's green? We've got the netherite, which is somewhere. I think it's over here. Yeah. So we've got the netherite, which is this like almost like army green. Not quite. Then we've got the moss now. Got a concrete. Now, I don't want to just make a ton of these, but they are very useful. Like these look good no matter what you do. You just take a flat color, add a little bit of noise, and call it a day. We could try something like that for green. So let's find a block that we like. Probably green, huh? Over here. Maybe concrete. Oh, we do have concrete powder. Oops, I replaced the light. Give me that light back. Yoink. That's the only bad thing about this system. So we kind of already do have that, but I think if we go with a more foresty and a lighter green, not lime, but just lighter and less noisy, I think we'll have something that's useful. Okay, let me get my files opened. Resource packs, space aces. Textures block, and I'll look up green. Let's try green concrete, and I'll throw that into here. Let me see. Okay. And let's see if this works. Are we in GIMP? No. I need to manually select it like that. Okay. Sweet. And I'm going to go ahead and... Should I stretch the screen? I think that stretches just enough pixels to not be too much of a problem. Also, this area math is like kind of blasting. Oh no, that's Drayton. Okay. So here's a thing that I didn't know about textures before, and I think this is relatively new, is let me stop to white. It's really hard to tell here, but blocks are indexed. And I don't know if that's just something new with the newer textures. I don't remember them always being that way. But if you ever are working on a resource pack, you just change the image and you go mode and set the RGB. Then you can put full RGB. Now, indexed is good because instead of storing every possible color, you store like 4, and then you just say, you basically convert whole bytes into like almost bits, basically. But of course, within reason, that's nice. Okay, so first thing we want to do, not just image size, scale image. Get our 32. And let's go ahead and grab this green. Maybe just a little bit more, but I also want it to be a little bit grayer. Somewhere in here. Something kind of like that. And the reason we're making this is I could see this being quite useful for like an overgrown area concrete. So like let's say where there's a city and it's covered in moss. If we cover green with green, it'll kind of blend together, even though this isn't green. Like it looks like it's even more overgrown, and we can use that sparingly. So here's the trick. You always just add noise, and with this one we wanted to dull it a little bit. Change the saturation so it looks really hideous. And then value is just how intense it is, so you can barely increase it. Something like that. If you want it to be very faint, decrease dulling. Something really harsh like that could actually be useful. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for like grass. Let's try something kind of pale. So we'll overwrite it. Now, the way this works is, if we go back to Minecraft, because it's like a texture pack on the server, that's not going to update it, right? So we've got a little bit of a problem where that's kind of annoying. But that's okay, because what we can do, I created a little batch script where if I click on it, it'll automatically zip it. And then the server says, hey, download from GitHub. Every time someone pushes, that is the zip. So you can manually zip it just to make sure you're actually updating the, it should be covered, manually updating the texture pack, resource pack, as needed rather than all the time. So by doing that, it gives us a little bit more power. Not sure why that wasn't covered. Is this one? That's the, okay. So the way that looks, let me, I would just show you, but it's kind of easier if I don't. Oh, what? That's not up one folder. Okay. How is this? This isn't a search. That's so weird. Okay. I did not know that's how that worked. Apparently when you do a search, it the way it works is interesting. Okay. Oh, I got installed 7-zip. Oops. You can use the Microsoft one, but 7-zip is just easier to work with in the command line. So I'm going to use my package manager. Yes, I have a package manager for Windows. If you ever need to install a bunch of apps, Chocolatey, look it up. Instead of going to the individual website, you can just say, install this, and it'll just instantly install. It's so nice. Okay. Okay, and that should just work now. Let's see. Yep, okay. And so what this is doing is it's compressing. I'm doing that in the background. Wow, that was really fast. And I think it can... Let me see if I can create a GitHub desktop to show you guys this. Window capture. There we go. And if I transform, fit the screen. Okay, so this is GitHub desktop. Real people use actual Git. I'm not a real person. I just use GitHub desktop because I'm lazy. But this is kind of cool. You can see like the difference. Onion skin, it just got bigger, right? Difference. 2UP is kind of the best for like complete changes. But yeah, see, I compressed it. That's what the resources.zip is. Now if I call this green concrete and just go ahead and submit it. Okay, now that that's running, I go back to Minecraft. I will have to disconnect, which is kind of annoying. So we'll give it a couple seconds to make sure it's fully uploaded on the server. And while we do that, we can think about the next block we would like to texture. I haven't been minding doing these more concrete ones, but let's go to Moonbase and just see like if we could add a block. I really like how Moonbase turned out. I don't like these. Like, these are kind of bad. But I just ran out of time. I'm like, these will be better than nothing for now, and if I want to improve them, I can. Like, ones like this look cool. This one's a little bit boring, but it's not terrible. This one's just nonsense. But it's the big one that I don't really like, and both of these are pretty bad. Okay. For some reason, you can't see the texture there. Anyways, we're running around mostly doing textures. I don't really care about these models right now. Although I've been needing one that goes on the bottom of a block really bad. I'll do that eventually. Okay. We could use more orange. Like, we've got the rust. Let me travel to ruins. We've got the rust, and we've got this thing. But we don't have very much intentionally orange stuff. Like, this is like unintentionally. It's orange by accident. That sounds like a good band name if you've been needing one. Yeah, it's basically this block, I think. Do we want more? I really like these clouds too. They're pretty cool. Yeah, more orange would be pretty good. Got some stickies up there. That's funny. We also don't have very much red or even yellow, honestly. Like, we've got that block. Yeah, let's go back to textured blocks. We got those two yellow. I'm thinking we add orange and yellow blocks. We need a little bit more warmth. Okay. It'd be kind of nice to convert maybe the resin bricks to very structured, kind of like this, but like orange or yellow or red. Kind of feeling orange right now, though. Okay, we'll work with that. Go to GIMP. Let me drop GIMP above GitHub Desktop because we don't need to. Don't need to poke around in GIMP all the time. And if we open up resin, do I have resin? Oh, I do. Sweet. I'm going to open up the resin bricks as well. I like to do kind of families of blocks, especially kind of copying the families that we already have. Okay, so here's another indexed. And here you go. Here's the how you can see the colors. So these, what, 7 colors are the only colors in the entire texture, which is really cool that they can do that. For us, though, it's not not that cool. So we'll do RGB. There we go. And we'll just go ahead and do that for this one. Go back here. And we'll scale it. So like you can do stuff like this. It just looks stupid, right? If you do end up doing stuff like this, it looks just like really soft. If you keep it, you can do a noise pass, and that just adds just enough sharpness back to make it feel good. But I don't want to keep it. I want. Do we want more of a gold? What orange are we feeling? Kind of here, but a little bit less saturated. Yeah, in there. So this is like almost like a red sandstone. Let me just set the brush size to 50. Okay. I could see this working. Now it's kind of the same as copper, just the way copper works, which is fine. And I just do this really, really simply early. Let's show our grid. I forgot how to set the defaults in this. That's really annoying. Grid, I have to fix it every time. Okay, so this is stairs. So ideally, if you split it this way. Stair and slab. So like the slab will cut off the texture here, and then it'll look good. The stair will cut off the texture both here and here. That does actually help quite a bit with making it be a little bit more cohesive. But that being said, do you want to go with like a heavier what's this lightness here? Less saturated. How do we feel about something like that? That's pretty similar to the basalt, which is kind of unfortunate. Maybe we want to change it up, actually. I'm feeling like rivets on this one, though. So maybe we just do 2 in like that. Alternating. Kind of just looks like pimples or something. Doesn't really work. Could do like a fatter rivet. Maybe the problem down on these two actually is that they're need to be like this. I'm almost feeling like this more than the rivet. God dang it. Okay. This could be kind of interesting. What if we do something like that and then we do these on the alternate? I'm kind of feeling this. It's a little bit weird. But once we add the noise, I think it's going to work pretty well. I'll just grab that and paste it here. I always like to merge it down. So it's pretty busy, but maybe we can add some noise. Ooh. Okay, it's too busy. So let's lighten these because I like the pattern. Take this and get it a little bit closer to actually we'll just make this. And we'll just paste. Let's set the threshold to 0 because it's like too close. Okay, then we'll grab Actually, we'll just grab this again. The problem is if you make these too similar, then you just can't see them, and then it's like, what are we doing if we're not, if we can't see the textures we're making? Which is fair. Yeah, it needs to be dulled quite a bit more. Okay. Let's try this. I don't like it yet, but we'll try it. And then here, let me undo this noise. We'll start with this as the base color. Okay. And I do like a solid square type of block generally. This is also not 32 yet. And we'll see the grid. And I have to configure the grid. I don't know how to set that as a default. I think it's in... Is it in settings? You can't see that. Whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, so you could do something kind of like this, right? Where it's a square within a square. I don't know. I'm afraid now that we're dealing with these colors, it's too light, actually. So this gives the impression that this part is sunken in and this part pops back out. I don't know. Also, my Discord isn't open. I gotta make sure that's open. I don't have any circle stuff, but that scares me. we could try a circle though. Oh, I want to keep that. Okay. Now the trick for a circle actually is just to get a good brush and then set your size like really high. That's the trick. So it should be around like 32, right? 31. 31. Okay, then we'll do... We'll do the dark color. Do we want another one at like 15? We'll do the light color for now. I could see this being useful, but in a weird way. We'll see. Okay, let's start actually mapping these out. And maybe we'll do a normal one for once actually, instead of the inverted. Actually, I'm doing this wrong. Get this color, set the size to 29 maybe? Yeah. Then we'll get the light one. Set that to 15. Get this one again. Set that to 13. Okay, so we at least have 2 squares. We can use these differently, depending on what we want to do. Do we want shading, or do we want it to just be like this whole thing is above? I think we need shading. But what we can do, let's change that back, is do kind of what we were talking about earlier with the inverted. So this is like a neutral pixel. Dang it, I miss it every time. Okay, so we do that, and then we can do this. So that gives the impression that the circle in the middle protrudes even more, like, or actually, it's this one's sunken in, this one's sunken in even more. Do we like that? I think so. I think we'll run with it. I'll put in those dots just to kind of seal it off. Let's just add noise and see what happens. Sure, we'll actually... Okay, that's the same amount of noise as the other block. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and compress it. I will say the compression algorithm on my new computer is significantly faster, I will say. Oh, and Discord, I shouldn't have opened it because now it's wanting me to have the that goofy overlay. Okay, so I got to do the push real quick on GitHub, but that'll be coming in any second. We'll give it like 10 seconds. What is that over there? I think that's Moonbase. Let's see. Yeah, look at it. You can see Moonbase from here. Oh, you can zoom in. That's actually really nice. Wow, that looks so weird from here. How far can I zoom? Okay, I think that's Essentials that does that. Does it stay? Like if I zoom way in? No, it resets. Man, you have to really be careful. So this right here is the command stuff for the map. And that's just a block at 0, 0, 0, I think. Interesting. Okay, I think we've got enough. Sorry. C418. Canceling up your music. Okay, let's see if those got updated. Oh, we're listening to Minecraft. That's so cool. Okay. Yeah, this one is kind of interesting. Let's look at it in like a scale, or at scale. That's pretty good though, right? Like I know it doesn't look amazing. Like it's just, okay, it's just gray blob. Or grayish green blob. But if you combine it with one of these, let's see. Like to me, this is like your stereotypical 2005 sci-fi war movie type of thing. So I could see that being pretty useful. And its purpose is like large pads that are have a lot of interesting stuff on them. This isn't supposed to be interesting. This is supposed to be kind of ignored almost. You have to have, if everything's interesting, then then nothing is. As what's his name? That's the same. Said I can't think of his name. Incredibles. I know he was voiced by same guy that plays Earl in My Name is Earl. What is that guy's name? He's pretty funny. Okay. The fan is done, and this is done. But yeah, this green will look good with like the gray, the unsaturated grays that we have. So that'll be good. Okay, and then we look at our really strange, these are gonna look kind of bad, I think. It's worth a shot though. Sometimes you gotta try something weird to see if you like it. Oh, yeah, looks like it's got chicken pox or something. I don't know about this. And that's even after we turned it down. I'm glad we did turn it down. I thought it wouldn't be noticeable. Now this might be actually kind of cool. Yeah, I don't mind that actually. And it actually, it does work pretty well with this block because it is kind of like a, even though the top and bottom don't line up, it doesn't really matter because the center lines up, because that's a circle. No matter what, the center will line up with a circle. Assuming the circle is also centered. I do like these radio dish type things. Let's see if we can add a little bit of this to it. Okay, so like that's an option. I don't like it because it's not circular, but it is an option. So I'm kind of torn because I thought I would like this thing more, but I kind of don't. It looks kind of bad. This kind of, it looks like a bad version of one of the Malice's textures. Oh man, how do I feel about this? I think we need to go back to the drawing board, which is fine because we already undid that. So if that's the case, let's get rid of all of these. I like the middle part. I like these, but I don't like how that causes things to line up. We could go thin on the top and the bottom to make it a little bit more interesting. So something like this. And that'll break up the pattern if you stack this block. What else could we do? We could make it 3. So that's always something that's option. That is an option, rather. We have so many blocks like this, though. And trying to make them unique is a little bit of a challenge. We could break out the middle, actually. Let's try that. So instead of... Actually, I don't mind this even. What if we just do something like this? What if we... Ooh, okay. I like this because this is a circle. We want to kind of lean into that a little bit. So this right here looks like almost like two pipes running off, which that would work better. It's like two rounded things, if that makes sense. This is like the part that's hitting the most of the light. But it wouldn't be outwardly curved, it would be inwardly curved, if that makes sense. So if we imagine it on imagine the green is like you're looking straight down. Instead of being shaped, helps if I grab the green. Instead of being shaped like this, these pipes, and it'd be like this, right? So a stack of 4 of them. This is terrible drawing. It would be closer to being shaped like this, which kind of gives the impression of looking at it like that is almost like angle iron. I think this will work. Let's just repeat that. Yeah, getting a little bit of breakup there. Very nice. I wish, you know, it'd be really cool in Minecraft is if we could apply a, like the same noise filter, but like seed it differently depending on where it's at in the world. That would be sick. Of course, that doesn't work. That's not an option. Okay, I'm going to leave this all up. Let's find a couple other blocks to look at while we're waiting. Got our moon rock. Do we want to revisit the diorite? I don't know. That looks so bad. The thing is like we already have a moonstone, and this is just the same thing but worse looking than that. Like if I do that, the moonstone looks better. So maybe I can be more adventurous with this. I kind of want to build something that will fit into this category of blocks. So like the quartz, because this is like almost like a laboratory. So if we build something that is similar but not the same, how we can use them together. The problem is like this is going to burn up a lot of walls and stuff, right? Well, just one, I guess. But you do have stairs and slabs for both of those. So we fly over here. Let's try it. Let's go back to GIMP. Diorite. Can I open these with up here? I can. Okay, good. Okay, so here's our texture. I think this is still, it is still indexed, and I think that was part of the problem. Image. We'll make it RGB. There we go. And I think this one might be indexed too. It is not. Okay. Let's start with a kind of a flat gray. There we go. Okay, and then we could lean into the yellow a little bit. Just ever so slightly. Okay, so we have like a little bit of like a yellow. And because there's stairs and slabs, we want to make sure if we do, we split it in the middle. I'm thinking maybe we don't actually. We could kind of repeat what we just did, but a big version of it. Oh, image show grid, configure grid. Nope. And I like to set it by inches. Okay. So yeah, if we do that. Then we could do 2. And then we could do 1. This looks like something out of a video game. Is this the yellow? I guess we just make it white. This is just weird, but it might work. It's kind of gross, isn't it? Maybe like blast the value. Yeah. Do I like this at all? This looks kind of bad. I think this is too much color down here. Go a little bit darker and maybe just ever so slightly more saturated. Let's try it. I'm not feeling it completely, but I think it's worth a shot. And then this, let's try something different with this one. We haven't done a square one in a while. What is going on? Oh, the opacity or the. Maybe this is the one we could do like yellow, and we'll do. Wow, our favorite thing to do. Configure the grid. I mean, something like this could be kind of interesting. It's like, okay, it's just yellow, right? Why do we have blocks that are just yellow? Oh. I don't mind something like a little bit harsher like that though. Let's try that. Let's lean into that. Add even like a highlight inside of here. Okay, what does this look like? We zoom out. And I think there's too much, like we need to offset something. So like instead of these being where they are, we need it to be like this, for example. So that means the light's coming, and these are sticking out, which we don't have as many of those sticking out, so that we can make that work. Maybe we'll try something different and just have these always work that way. Okay. And then inside of these, because they're higher up, we could raise them just a tiny bit in color and saturation. Whoa. I think I need to swap these colors. Maybe it'll just be kind of nice and gentle. I think that grayish color was hurting more than helping. This is kind of weird, right? This might look terrible, but I just want to see it in game now. And let's make it kind of harsh. This might have a value somewhere. I don't know where or how, but it might. Okay, so those are both overwritten. Let's go ahead and compress. And once we see this in game, I think I might call it there for this morning. I just wanted to do something short. Oh, minimized GIMP. That's what I'm doing, right? Okay, and then let me... try that. Okay. Listening to O's Piano by Amos Roddy. This one's pretty good. I like it. All right. Okay. We'll give it another few seconds, but it's kind of a weird what we've done today. These did not go in the direction I thought they were. Like what I was thinking. I just thought we were going to make textures, honestly. So I guess that's on me. if we're not thinking we're going to make textures. What if we did something like this with these builds? And just stack this. See, that actually doesn't look bad. We'll see it with the new textures, though. Hopefully the new textures. It's very muted. Now, looking like separate pipes that are next to each other is, or like a wave pattern, doesn't look like that as much as I was kind of hoping for, but it does look good, I think. This doesn't work as well as I want either. But I don't know if I should add this into here to cancel it, or if I should just try something else. I think it's okay. And I could always do like an Acacia button to kind of reset the lines on these. So that line there is like, it forces that to stop. And then it looks a little bit more natural. Okay. Then we have these, which are pretty alien looking. Do I like that? It's pretty hard to look at. It's almost worse than diorite. No, I'm just kidding. Another thing we can think about too is like, is this worth having stairs and slabs for? Because we could just not, right? And then make this, if we kind of like this, we could make this like a raw gold or something. Maybe we use this sparingly, and that's the problem. This looks bad because it's not really how it's going to be used anymore. It'd be used more like the walls. Does this look good stacked, though, is the problem? Well, it's actually not terrible. That white is really, really bright, though. You almost need a dark, like, reset line at the top. I think this looks better like this, and then if you lean into the white, then I think it works actually pretty well. Yeah, see, that doesn't look bad. I actually like that. And then if I wanted to, I could get... which button is it? It's one of the buttons. I haven't built with this stuff in a bit. Like, if this was still a little too much, like let's say you're transitioning to a different block, you can also do this. Something more like that will reset the line, and then you could transition even to like a darker block. I don't have an example of one. Here we go, red sandstone. This is kind of like a generic. So like that kind of does reset. And honestly, you could flip that, right? You could put these at the top. And then do that. I don't know. Whatever. Stupid buttons. That's the only bad thing about building with buttons. They're hard to place sometimes. Oh, actually not there, but here. Yeah, see, like that doesn't look bad. And then like if you did something like this as the ceiling, These are pretty hard to look at, though. I think if I muted the this middle part to less of a pukey yellow, it made it more like this whole tile, or even lighter than that, make it like white. I'm going to try that just real quick. Let me undo this, grab this color, and then redo it. And then undo that. Paste these 4. That looks really hard to look at, but I think this is what I needed. And then this one, we said something about having a reset line. I think that will help. Cut that and paste it. Move it down 2 pixels, maybe. Let's merge it. Control A, and actually, let's grab that color. That way, we're kind of in the same ballpark of colors. Okay. That is a really harsh. I don't really like that. Let's try something lighter for both of those. Okay, overwrite those. Let me compress. We'll look at them real quick, and then I'll get going. I've got to get to work. Okay. And if I can technically just have this in the world too. It's like a normal resource spec in my my thing. Of course, I can't like putting it on here. It doesn't really work, but that's besides the point. Okay, let me sorry, C418. Let me try rejoining. Oh, I probably should see the Minecraft. That's definitely easier to look at, even though it's so bright. It'll have its place. How do we feel about this, though? I do think that kind of fixes the need for having buttons. The buttons can still make it look better, but I don't think they're necessary now. Okay, and then if I were to replace the walls with something like that, let me get rid of this garbage. I think both of these are like okay. They're still kind of weird, but like you don't make a sci-fi game without some weird textures. This actually looks kind of good. It's a little formulaic. Maybe you could, you know, put in separate blocks in those spots, especially like the smooth quartz. And then you could reuse these as like glowing windows in the future. If you ever had like almost like glowing glass panes, is kind of what they look like. They almost have a Japanese vibe to them, which I'm okay with having. Let's get a glass block just real quick. Maybe black glass, I think looks pretty cool. Yeah, see, this I think looks cool. Or even if you're like most of the wall is those and you have these just at the end. Okay. I think that gives us some stuff to work with. If we don't like them, we can always just keep changing them. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's always a problem for later. These turned out pretty well, I think. I'm not 100% sold on them, but I think we can make them work. And we can blend them into these to some extent. Now these are like a little bit more gray. Like this is almost acacia wood, isn't it? But like you can do something like this and it wouldn't look terrible. Or you can just introduce a completely different color. Like let's grab these. Or actually we can grab our diorite now, right? Yeah, like something like that actually doesn't look terrible, especially these kind of line up. It's just interesting. It doesn't have to be good, it just has to be interesting. All right. Well, thanks for joining, or rather watching later. I don't think anyone came to the actual stream, but that's okay. But if you want to keep seeing the progress, I'm hoping, like, I think it'd be cool to stream early in the morning, at least once a week. I say that, and then it just doesn't work out. So at a certain point, things are beyond my control. I have to work and do other things. So Minecraft is pretty low on my priority list because I'm never going to make money from this, so I can't even justify it that way, at least on this map. But anyways, I appreciate everyone watching this later, if you do, and making it all the way to the end. And I will see you next time. All right.